Good afternoon, traders. Welcome to the weekly outlook. For those of you who are pretty often, please make sure you can help me share that link because a lot of people don't see the link. And then after the webinar, many people write me and said, well, I want to get into your live webinar. How do I do that? Well, the link is posted there, but they don't see it. So you guys could help share it, and that will help a lot of people to see it. That's one. If you can do that, thank you very much for that. And for those of you who are in the first time, you know where to find all my recordings. It's on YouTube. Get there and you can do it. You know where to find me. Go to Trading View, and I think you will figure it out once you get there. You'll find me there, right? If you can keep all your questions for the second half of the webinar, I do take a lot of questions, and sometimes we go way beyond the 1 hour. So please keep all your questions for the end, and I will answer them. If it's a question during the webinar, I'm going to take it down, write it down, and wait for the end. I'll come back to the chart and we'll look at it, right? So let's go. Let's start. As usual, we will start with the dollar index because I want to have an idea what it's doing. And if you remember, if you were in my webinar for the last 3 weeks, I warned, don't buy at the top. It's a top. If it is going to go back up, they will have to come down and then go back up. So you can actually see this for yourself, right? You can't guess this stuff. You can see it for yourself, and you're in the webinar and you can see this looks very corrective to me. I wouldn't say that it's not going to go down totally. It could, and it could start to fall very sudden. We could see a lower low, and I'm very looking at most of the charts. I'm thinking we may see a lower low before they go back up, or we might see a very deep correction. A deep correction meaning they could actually come all the way to about here and then go back up. Breaking this structure, making this one wave up, two, and then go for the three. That is a possibility. We're tracking it as it's coming down. That means we're going to have euro going up. Let's look at the euro in details. 4 hour. Euro made a 1, 2, 3 wave up, and then they drop suddenly, right? Not something you can catch because it's hard to catch, and if you catch it, you probably got a break-even trade. But look what happened after that. They reversed it totally. It is not broken the daily low. So there's still a chance that although it is not a wedge, a triangular pattern, it could be an A, a B, and a C if they start to go back up from here. So two things I'm looking for the euro to do. Either totally reverse and make a higher high for an ABC structure, A, B, C structure, or I'm looking for them to just make corrections back to the top here, and then we sell. Now, can we buy on the way up? Definitely. So we will be looking for buy setups. And here was where your buy setups come in. You have a very sharp move up. Wait for a flag. And take your next trade up. Wait for a flag. That flag will take from 6 to 12 hours. Don't jump into the candle that is moving very fast. I've shown you how fast. You see how fast this went? You see how fast they reverse it? They can reverse it back to the downside as fast as that, and then we will have an expanding flat 1, 2, 3, and they will go down. You want to make sure that this is not going to go down when you jump in. So you want it to make a flag that shows you a continuation pattern, and there is where your trading comes in. If you wait patiently for 6 to 8 hours, can this thing go 50 pips up or up more without you? Let it go. Because if you don't let that 50 pips go, if you don't have a flag, every time you do that, you're going to lose 8 of the 10 trades you take. But if you wait for that flag, you're going to miss some trades that just keep going. But your win-loss ratio on the trades you take will be amazing. You're going to win 8 and you're going to lose 2 because you have the patience to wait for that thing to prove to you it's going to go up. People who jumped into trade like that, they watched. Do you remember I just showed you the Euro New Zealand, how many times that thing reversed totally? You saw the Euro, how they reversed this. Don't jump into the trade when it's moving. Don't jump into the candles when it's moving. Let them stop. They will stop, and then they will make a flag. And here's where you will get in. You will get in here, not there. And you wouldn't be crying while this is happening. You wouldn't be going, oh my God, please, please. Can you just push it up some more for me? And every time that makes an up and down, your emotions is like in a roller coaster, because you're in the trade and you don't know what to happen, and you don't have a stop, or you have a stop that is here and you're afraid that they're going to come take your stop. And when it gets to this level, you close the trade and then you watch it do that. And you're like, oh my God, why did I close it? Many traders do that. They jumped in immediately, and then this starts to happen to them. This correction starts to happen. And every time it does this, oh, it's going up now. No, it's going down. It's going up. It's going down. And then they close it here, bing. And then they watch that happen. If you're in my trade, you know that will happen. It happens 99.9% of the time. Even if you get a move as strong as this move, you don't want to buy at the top. You want to wait for it to make a flag, because if you were patient enough to say, let me wait for a flag, this would not happen to you. If you're patient enough when that reversed to said, let me wait for a flag, you can get in a trade here, you can get in a trade here, you can get in a trade here. If you're patient enough to wait for a flag, you will get in the trade on the upside. It makes a flag, you will get in the trade here. Right? So that's it. Wait for that one. Pong. Pong, on the other hand, I believe will be giving a short-term, at least downside. I'm looking for a short-term sell here. This could happen while the euro is consolidating towards the downside. And then maybe, just maybe more up. But I don't think, I think the Pong will actually break to the downside. So even though euro may go up, whether it's going up corrective or as an impulse, Pong could break to the downside because of this structure. And you don't have to guess that. You just have to look at what the chart did previously. See that one? All of you remember this one, this big one here? This one was more than I expected. You remember this one? And this one. Sorry, wrong one. One, two, three, and then they go down, right? This one is a little messy. I thought at some point that one will go back up first and then come down. Well, they didn't do that. You have this, and now you have this. So the chances for one more down is very, very possible. So 1 hour, look at this chart here, and there's a chance you will get a very nice trade here. Don't take it inside of here. Take it on the break of this one. Take it on the break of this one. You'll probably get a nice break here. You get a small correction, and then you can look for this trade down here. This would be your trade. So this week, I'm looking for Pong downside. Aussie. Okay, so you can see this one. We are already in the Aussie trade. Not going very good. We took the break of this flag. Let me show you what flag we're looking at. We took the break of this flag here. This level, it's here. We're looking for this trade to come to this level and then maybe much more down. That trade will, 4 hour, let me show you what the trade is. We're looking for that trade to come to this level. This is the target. I'm not supposed to have that on for you guys, sorry. That was not supposed to be for you. We're looking for this trade to come here. There is a possibility, as you can see, that they may want to go back one more to this top. See that? They may want to go back one more to that top. So if they are going to do that, they will first come to this level and then go back. That will be our break-even trade. Not something you guys are supposed to see, but that's okay. We'll give you one. We'll give you one of that. This is how our charts look like in the trading room. Not supposed to be out here right away. So my fault on that one. Watch this trade. We're looking first for it to come here. We'll put it at break even, and then we'll see. And we think Aussie is more downside. Aussie is, we're looking for Aussie to come and tag this line here, one more down. But they could go up first and then come down. That means we'll sell it again. We will buy it up and then we'll sell it again. You want me to show you that trade, where it came from? I think all of you seen it before. It's in the daily chart. We saw that structure coming way before it's going to happen, right? So it hasn't changed. Nothing has changed. We're just making a consolidation to go. They have to come and tag this low as a 1, 2, 3 wave structure. So they have done this move up. They've done that move down. They've done this move up. They've done this piece. They're making a consolidation to go, right? They're making a consolidation to go now. We want this trade here. Either we get it from here or we get it from the top, which means if this trade comes out for a loss or a break even and they come to the top here, we'll buy and then we'll sell again. So we look for a buy above here and then we'll look for a sell from there. But I think this one will minimum come here, making a 1, 2, 3 wave structure. At this point, we will see up or down, right? Which ones I can recommend not to take? That's not something we discuss in this webinar. That's a question. It's from Denny saying he's seen so many flags failed. Which one would recommend? That depends on how you read into the wave structure, right? So that is not something for this. That's a 6-week course and a couple months of training for you to get that one, which ones are the right ones and how to, even when you're in the wrong ones, here is a good deal about it. Even when you're in the wrong ones, how do you manage it? How do you manage your way out of it, right? So you basically jump into the Aussie trade because it did not break the flag. Guys, we're not discussing my trade. We did not jump into the trade. You have no idea what you're talking about. Let me take that out so you don't think. Yeah, we're still in the Aussie CAD. Okay, you guys are stopping the webinar in the middle because of this. Let me take it out so it doesn't disturb you. You don't understand our trade, so I'll just take it out, right? So let me just show you. This is what the account looks like that they're trading. My traders are trading it, right? Look at the Aussie CAD trade. You know, since when we were in that trade? 16th, 11, 15. That's since 15th of November we were in that trade and we're not closing it. We're in the Aussie trade and we're in the second Aussie CAD trade I just showed you, right? So you're not supposed to see all of that, but just so that you guys know, these are trades taken by the traders in the trading room. These are not, we just opened that account. I told you guys about it, right? We opened it, we couldn't trade it for a whole week because the trading platform was not ready from ex ante. They've just set the MT4 up. They now set it and it's now running, still not very good. To be honest, they're still connecting it. They will launch it next year. They just managed to open it and they're giving just a few clients. Can you not please give advice about one bad flags and good flags? That's not what we're doing here. We don't discuss good and bad flags. I'll have to teach you what is wave structure for 6 months before you can understand what is good flags and bad flags. For you, here would be a good flag. If this breaks to the upside and make a pullback here, you will get this trade. Because they're going to make a 1, 2, 3 wave structure. I would like them to come down here first and then go back up, giving me this structure, right? So, but you don't have a trade right now to the downside. New Zealand, I showed this in my on the platform and trading view, and some people were really going crazy, right? Not understanding what I'm trying to say. What I told you this last week. Look at this and look at this. And if you can see the similarities, you're thinking, then there's probably one more up here. Now, that may or may not happen, and there's a way you can see if that is going to happen. You go into the chart, and you can see we are looking for a flag here. We are anticipating this one will come down some more to about this level, making a flag, and if it breaks, you buy that trade. That is your trade if they break this flag to the upside. If this one is going down, you don't have a trade on it. I don't have a trade set up for the downside, but I have a trade set up for the buy. I think long term it's upside. So we will be looking for a buy setup on the New Zealand. We're looking for this to make a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're looking for the upside. We're looking for this here. So this would be a trade in you. Remember, euro possible up after a flag. Aussie possible up after the end of that flag, or more downside than the up. New Zealand could correct for a while and then upside. So we're looking for the upside in New Zealand, not the downside. This structure needs to be negated, this structure here, before we decide to sell. I don't see the negation of that structure as yet. Right? Swiss. Remember, we looked at this structure. 1, 2, 3. We're looking for downside. Right? We looked at that structure many times before, and we're looking for the downside on Swiss. So we have a move here. We broke that structure. By the way, I don't know if my traders, we missed that. We probably should have been paying attention to that. Right? You missed it, take it out. Yep. This could be your possible, what traders like to call head and shoulder reversal. Actually, it's telling you a move up with a pullback and the one there, an impulse, a correction, and another impulse. Don't jump into the sell and the break. Here's what you will want to do. If it's going to go down the way we think it is going to go down, you want to wait for the trade to prove it's going to go down. Right? This could still be a sideways flag that goes back up. Let this candle come down and break the low. Let it make a flag, and it will make a flag, and then you can start trading it down. Right? Because if it is going to go down, there's a big move to the downside, which means if New Zealand makes that move to the upside, this move will not stop here. It was going to come here and come here and come here. It's coming to break this low as a 1, 2, 3 wave structure. So you probably, if you're waiting for this, let it break, let it make a flag, and you will get the trade to the downside. Now, the only difference with this and all the other flags is that this normally don't make pullback after flag. So you can also, if you know how to trade things that are break and just go away, you can do that. That's a strategy I can share with you, right? I am not allowed to do that in this room, but I can tell you the direction I think it's going to go big time. CAD, we also think CAD could start to go down. Right now, that is not confirming the downside, but you can see that it's not going anywhere here. It's kind of like going very slow. The confirmation will come when we break this low here. There's a possibility you have one more small trade to the upside here. This one, it's a very small trade. You can take that, put it to break even, and hope that it comes to this level. Right? The reason you'll be looking at that level is because of these, right? You got to move down, you got to pull back, you got to move down, you got to pull back, you got to move down. They could pull back to this level. So this is a small trade, and there's a likelihood it doesn't go anywhere. It just comes here and go back down. So if you can't manage that risk, stay away from it, right? Because what it could do is it could just come to this level and then start to drop. And if it does that, you'll be in the sell, not the buy, the sell setup. As long as you're under this trend line, you probably wait for a sell setup. If it breaks this trend, then you look for the buy to the upside, right? Sure. I am pretty much liking to short this rather than long it. My short that I had from this level, I closed it here because when this, somewhere in here, we closed when this started to go back up. That one actually took out the short-term trade here for break even for us on the platform I showed you, and we even take a small loss trying to buy it, which is not a good idea. We figure out that pretty fast. Don't buy the CAD. Look for shorts in the CAD. So we'll be looking for sell. If it breaks this structure, if the CAD breaks this structure here, and I think they can without going up, I think they can actually break out of here without going up that one more up, right? That one more up is a long way from now, but if they break this structure, you're getting a very nice trade to the downside. And that is why I compared a number of charts showing why this downside on the CAD is possible very soon. Because if you look at, I'm going to click daily on all the charts, and I want you to look very carefully. I'm going to go start. Let me do the yen first, and then yen. I also think this is a 1, 2, 3 correction. 1, 2, 3, and this thing will start to come down. But yen may go up some more. Yen may go up some more, and I think the yen could come to about this level, making some kind of an ending diagonal structure here, with divergence in it, and then we'll probably see the downside, right? Yen is still crawling up. So yen is not the sure one that yen will come down. Short term, you probably have a buy setup. It's gone already. Let me take this out. It's gone already, but you know, if it makes a flag, you can still buy it. If it pulls back, make a flag, you can still buy it, right? Short-term trade up, watch it stop here. Watch that top because they can stop there and turn to the downside again, right? So yen right now is making a top, and when they make a top, that is what they do. They start the curve, right? This top, you can see that this was a sharp impulse, and then the next impulse wasn't that sharp. And then the next impulse might not be that sharp, and then the next impulse might not be that sharp, and then you start to get downside, right? Now, it has to make a move to the downside, whether it's going to be just a corrective structure like the dollar index, or whether it's going to be an impulse to the downside. A correction is coming on this. So any trade you take to the upside is very short-lived. You take the trade, you get your profit, and you get out of it because it's not going to go very far, right? You get your profit and you get out of it. That's basically what you do. Euro, I wanted to show you the daily now. So I'm going to click daily on all of them, all the majors, and you will have an idea what we're looking at. We've got a move down. You've got a corrective move up. There's a chance they could make one more down. Normally, you look for a 1, 2, 3 wave structure before they go. CAD, I think this one is almost clear to us. This is not the yen, and it's the same thing. 1, 2, 3 up. We're looking for one more down. Swiss, pretty clear. 1, 2, 3 up, and we're looking for one more down. The complete 1, 2, 3. New Zealand, we're looking at the correction of this entire move. 1, 2, 3. You could get a 4 and you could get a 5 and then down. Right? This is corrections are either 3 waves or 5 waves. All of them are corrections. Aussie, I posted this already. We have 1 up, and then we have 1, 2, 3 likely come here, and then we're looking for another one up. This could likely happen. Completing a 1, 2, 3 wave structure. Pang, just maybe it will do something that nothing else will, the other charts wouldn't be doing. It could either come back here and then go back for a small one up, making a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave structure in here before they come down. Or it could come and break this structure here first and then start to go back up for a 1, 2, 3 wave structure. So the Pang may be a little messy, if you want to put it that way, in that it's going to get into complex patterns that you guys, I'm showing you simple patterns. The Pang may become a complex pattern, so you want to be careful if you don't, you know, if you're not sure how come. The Pang could still continue to go, but at least it's going to make a 4-hour correction. We're looking for at least a 4-hour correction, probably to about here, and then upside, right? So it's still possible upside until you break this. Go back to the daily. And Euro, possible, if this is making a 1, 2, 3 here, a 1, 2, 3, you can get one more up before you get the downside. So now you will have 1, 2, 3. 1 second, guys, let me get a sip of water. Sorry about that. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3. This is a big corrective structure. There's no question about that. The question is whether it's over. If all of that doesn't happen, what you will have is you'll have and sell setups. On the Aussie, on the New Zealand, and the Pang, and you will on the yen, you will have a pullback, buy setups. On the Swiss, you'll have a pullback, buy setup. On the CAD, you'll have we already have a pullback, maybe a little more downside and buy setup. So either way, these corrections are either over right now, which means you get a big trade to the downside coming here, or you get a big trade to the upside coming. You're at a point where they have to do either. At this point, they have to either correct and fall big time or go up big time. So you're at a very good point in terms of trading. You just have to get a trade set up for one direction and move it to break even and live with it. See how it works, right? See how that goes. You're at a very, very good point for one big move to happen. On all the charts, you're at that point where they have to do one out of the two. And very likely, one out of the, I'm thinking more upside here, but we will see. This doesn't prove anything as yet. Just in time, we'll see. You just take one trade at a time, and then if you're lucky, you get into a trade here, and if you're lucky, that takes off, and then you keep it, like we do with the Aussie CAD. You keep it for weeks, you keep it for months, right? You can't lose in that trade. That trade is a couple hundred pips, if not 1,000 pips up already. You can't lose on them so easily. No broker can take you out for 1,000 pip. Nobody will want to move the market against your 2 standard lots or your 2 mini lots. Move the market 1,000 pip to take you out, right? That's not possible. You're no longer, you know, it's that trade where you don't have to be afraid of it. So, showing you all the majors. Let's go through the ones that are more important for you guys, and then we'll come, which will be silver. It's a buy setup, by the way, right? We got a 1, 2, 3 here. See that flag, and we're getting a buy setup. Watch it. It might not go very fast, but you're getting back to the top here. See that, right? We'll look at Aussie CAD just now. Gold. It's a buy setup in the making. I posted this a while back already in the updates. If you follow the updates on my chart, you will see it. I'm looking for a buy setup. And then we will see if they go one more down or if they break. Depends on how this go. So you're looking for buy setup in gold. Excuse me, it's not there as yet, and you're looking for buy setup in silver. Short term, gold has one more sell. See this? Short term, gold has one more sell down here. So you may want to go with a short term sell first in gold. Actually, it's a nice short term sell setup here. It's short term because you notice every time they come to a low, they come to the low, they come to the low, they come to the low, they come to this low, they're likely going to stop. They don't go very far. That's a turning sign. They're turning, right? On the silver, I don't see that happening. Silver is showing a clear upside. This one is going up slowly, not very fast. But the first time around, they didn't go up very fast either, right? I posted this one. This didn't go up very fast. Eventually, they took off, right? So I think we're going to see more slow movement to the upside. I'd rather buy silver and leave gold alone. Right? Oil. This one did create a lot of uproar, right? Some people came in and, you know, they started, well, as usual, you find that with people who are upset because they lose their account or because something happened in their life, and then they look for somebody to take it out on, and then, well, if you're on top of the trading view thing, you're the target. You literally became the target, right? So what we were looking for, we saw this with 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're looking for 1, 2, 3, and then downside. We will always, if you give me a chart like this tomorrow and it has the similar structure and you ask me where I think it's going to go, I will say here and then up. That is what the posting was about. It's going to go down first and then go up. That is because every time you do forecast, something you would learn if you're a wave trader, every time you do forecast, you forecast a regular flat. Nobody forecasts a running flat or an expanding flat or anything like that. You always focus for a regular 1, 2, 3. We never even forecast triangles. When you're forecasting a corrective structure, you don't forecast triangles, right? You just do the regular thing. So now you're going to watch is that if they break the top, this could turn into a very complex B-wave structure or totally end the structure here as a running flat because we did break the top. So this would become a running flat and this would become your move to your upside. Now, how do you know that is going to be your move to the upside? I think by now all of you know. Wait for a flag. And if it gives you a flag here, you're going to trade it up. Right? Wait for a flag. And if you get the flag, you get a trade to the upside. If you don't, then you don't have a trade to the upside. UK oil, same thing. Wait for a flag. And if it makes a flag, you buy. If it doesn't, then be careful. They can reverse this entire thing. And then we will have a complex A, B, C wave structure. But I don't think that's what they're doing. So if you get a flag, look for upside. Right? Natural gas. Natural gas is breaking the top, so this has become a very high. We were looking for a much bigger correction than this. That didn't happen. You're getting buy setups in it. So in the 4 hour and the 1 hour, every time you get a flag, you buy. This wasn't much of a flag, so this will have to be buying with a different strategy. But if you're waiting for flags and you get 1 hour flags, take them. Anytime they make a 1 hour flag, now you take the trade to the upside, right? I think copper I can give you. There's a good one in the making here. Watch this copper. It could either be starting an uptrend right now, or I think we can see more downside, right? So any buys you get into, short-term buys, wait, short-term buys, wait, short-term buys, wait. If they do something like this, watch it to come back here again, right? It doesn't have the best structure for a buy or a sell setup, but long-term, I think they will go down some more. This looks like long-term because this one didn't go very far, right? So at least we're going to look for this to come back one more here and then go, right? Let's go. So we've completed all the majors, and now we're getting people panicking, asking for all kinds of charts. Some people want pound yen, euro yen. I showed the euro New Zealand, euro yen, euro. And if you keep typing euro yen a lot, I will probably even don't just ignore you. Where is the stop loss and the correct target? That's something you can get if you're in my trading room, right? That's not something we discuss. I give you a sense of direction where the chart is going to go in the webinars, and you should be able to use that, having a strategy to trade it. Question, do you have any importance in correlation? I'm talking about Aussie gold. No, I don't think they're correlated. I think they just happen to move in the same direction depending on which factor on the gold. Is it the dollar or the gold? Is it the Aussie or the dollar that is moving? Here's it. If the dollar is the one that is actually losing value, everything in relationship to dollar will lose value. But what if dollar is not losing value? What if dollar is getting strong? But somebody comes out tomorrow and said that these 6 mines that are mining for gold are going to close down. What will happen to the price of gold? It is going to go up regardless of the fact that dollar is getting strong, right? And Aussie will do nothing. Aussie will still be weak because Aussie is weak in relationship to the dollar. But now gold will get expensive because there is no more gold to get. They're just informing you no more gold to get. If they come out and they said if a dollar is weak and Aussie is strong, but somebody comes out and said, hey, we just found a mine with gold that has, then I don't know, 2 million metric tons of gold in it. We're going to start, mining there for gold. You may see the price of gold drop suddenly, and that will have nothing to do with Aussie. But they do tend to go in the same direction when dollar is losing value or gaining value. And that is different from correlation. Okay? I hope that helps. Let me see. There are a lot of questions coming up. Can you do ZAR? Can you do, I'll probably do Euro Yen because that is, more people trade Euro Yen. Let's look at it. Can you please explain more in details why Yen will go down? Okay, we'll look at Euro Yen and that will probably help. Aussie New Zealand. Aussie New Zealand. Let me do Aussie New Zealand. Thank you for reminding. That's a good one. Aussie New Zealand has a really good trade setup. So remember, we had an entry order there. That entry order is still sitting there. This one is making a pullback right now. So there's a chance you're going to get one more drop, maybe a sell setup here if you get it. One more drop, and then we will be in the trade here, take off our trade and look for upside. If this one comes and break, I don't think, I'll be honest with you, I don't think this is the start of an impulse. That's not how an impulse starts so slow. But if this is the start of the impulse going up, it will have to break the structure, make a flag, and then we will buy here. We'll take off the order then. Until then, the order is still very valid. Right, that is for that one. Let's go to the Euro Yen. Some people want Euro Yen. Euro Yen broke the daily chart, so we're looking for more upside here. Now, whether that upside was going to continue to go very long or very short, well, depends on how this move goes. So we made a move here. We got a deep pullback. They're going 1 hour. If you want to get into that deep pullback, do exactly what we will do for the trade. 1 second. Wait for a flag. Wait for this to make a flag and then take the trade up. If not, it could reverse at any point. But right now, you can trade every flag up that you get for a longer term trade to the upside. Now, that depends on whether Euro New Zealand is breaking out, right? Euro Yen is breaking out. Euro Aus is breaking out. Euro Aus, this is the structure in Euro Aus. If they break this structure here, we're looking for that trade, right? That depends on whether Euro CAD will break out. Euro CAD broke out. We're looking for a deeper correction. Any pullback here, we are buying for more upside. And then the downside, right? This would be a deeper correction to the upside. We're looking at Euro Chief to see if it's going to break out. Euro Chief goes up. Unless they break this structure, we'll probably get some move more here and then one more down before they go up. So Euro Chief is not a good one. I think it's the worst one. Let's look at the Pound Chief. Two of them that I post. That is the Pound Chief and the Pound CAD. Pound CAD, I think you're already seeing a trade setup in play, which you probably shouldn't have seen, but that is the next one you're seeing in play. Something I shouldn't have. Okay, let's go. So we're already looking at the sell setup from that area to come down, and we're targeting the 270 with a stop above the top, right? Not something you guys should see. I have to be careful before I come into these webinars. I came direct from the trading room, so a few trades that you guys are not supposed to be seeing, right? Now, this one, this made a higher high. The pound Swiss made a higher high than we expected, right? But the structure, if you look at the entire structure of this one, what they're doing is making a corrective structure up, right? Let me put in the daily so you can see that. I'll come down back to the lower time frame. We made a move down. We made a correction. We made a move down. We're making a correction. We're looking for one more move down. That makes sense? Now, the question is, when do you sell it? Let's go to the 4-hour. The 4-hour is showing us that this move is still going up, but as you can see, it's dying out slowly, right? Go to the 1-hour. We made a sharp move down. We were looking for a sell setup here, which didn't trigger. It went higher. That sell setup is no longer valid. You can take that out, right? We will wait for them to break this trend again, make a move down, make a flag, and then we will sell. Now, there is a big move to the downside. If a fish jumps into the boat, you take it. Okay. UJ, we did that already. We did most of those already. So let's get into more questions. Any more questions so far? Besides just charts, any other questions you guys have? Remember, when you're waiting on these structures, there are some nice setups to come. Just make sure you wait for the trades, right? Oh no, those are those are trades set up. Some of them, right? They're not exactly the trades that triggers yet. So you guys don't get too enthusiastic. Those are trade setups we're looking for. When we're in the room, we tend to, analyze trades and decide what the trade setup is. By the way, the Aussie may be a nice trade. Let me look at the Aussie for you guys. And some of you may have an advantage than we have, because now if you take the trade, if you take the Aussie sell here, your risk becomes less than our risk. So if you sell Aussie here and you put a stop here, this becomes your risk. Target this 270 here, put it to break even at that point. And if you see like it looks like a 3-wave, 1, 2, 3-wave flag to go up, you will get a break even trade. If it goes to where we think it is going, our target is way down at the 270 here, this target here. So this is the trade we are looking for. Since you all saw it, I may as well tell you what it is. What's the trade setup for us? That is the trade setup. At 74.1. We're not discussing. Somebody's asked, should I tell you why you shouldn't take that trade? I don't know if you should take it or shouldn't, right? My fib levels, we are always looking for 270 as a target. This has a 90% chance of getting hit. Always. We have tested that. There's a 90% chance your fibs get hit, right? Just be careful. This could become, very rarely they will not break the bottom and go up. So if they do, you will want to get out of the trade when they break this structure. I don't think they're going to do that. I think they'll probably come back here one more, and then we'll get a 1, 2, 3, a 1, 2, 3. And if this decides to go back up, for us, that will be a break-even trade. We will take break-even in that trade, right? If you don't want, you can take your profit, because we're looking for the larger target. We're looking for it to come lower. Our trade is based on different analysis. Our trade is based on the analysis that this one could come to this level here. Make sense? So we're looking at this one. 1, 2, 3. This is the trade we're looking for. Now, we don't know that this will go right now. So we have a precaution. You put a stop, and you move to break even when they break this low to this 270, right? Just to show you guys that one. Okay, everybody. Any more questions? No more. We still have 20 minutes if you guys have questions. Punks, too many questions. I think I missed some of the questions. Let me see. Instead of making a flag, it makes a consolidation and trend line. That question is gone. 1 second. Over 20 something question typed in a minute, so I have to go. What is a risky high percentage per trade risk? That has to do with risk management and your ability to handle risk. That's a whole different webinar. I'll probably do one for you guys sometime. Instead of making a flag, it's not about just trading 1%. Trading 1% gives you, for statistical purpose, trading 1-2%, the trade is okay. That's statistical ability, but every person has his own risk ability. How much risk you can handle and how much risk you can lose, right? How much money you can lose before you start to panic. That is that. So when you're calculating risk management, it has to calculate individually. What is your risk appetite? Now, on let's say this 30,000 that I have the trade in, we are doing statistical 1% every trade. But that's for statistics. That's because if I was trading it personally, I would probably trade it a little different than that, because 30,000 for me, I can afford to lose the whole account and don't be worried about it, right? That is just to collect statistics. That's the only purpose of that account, right? So it's 1% in every trade. It's not how we will normally trade. That's not how you should trade. You should know how much money you can afford to lose, and then you trade differently. We'll do something in that on the next webinar. Why the pending order is on the Aussie New Zealand? Nice question. Somebody said, don't trade the fibs without, you know, this is what I like with traders. I just love this with traders. A guy came into the webinar, maybe first time. The person who's asking this question, Kabashi, I'm going to call your last name because I think that one I could pronounce correct. Kabashi, are you the first time in my webinar? Yes or no? I'm not picking on you. I just want to know yes. So you see, you came the first time in and you're making an assumption of what we do. Last week when we showed that Aussie New Zealand, go look at the webinar last week that we did, and you will see why that entry order we put there, because it was explained in details, starting from the monthly. So here's what is going to make a very nice. Let me tell you how our room work. Our room work in that we don't just accuse people or go into controversial with people. We just decide, okay, explain to me why you do this and why you do this. It keeps a better atmosphere, right? Now, if you don't understand why I did that, just don't come and say, oh, well, you said that don't do this, that is why you're doing it, right? Like I committed a crime. I put an entry order in the Aussie New Zealand and I committed a crime. You came out with an accusation. Don't do that. It's not nice, right? That is a different trade setup. That trade setup is based on the weekly, monthly, daily 240 charts. It's a long, and we did it last week, I think. I showed everybody, right? Let's go. What else? By the way, you don't have to do what I say, right? So don't worry if I say something and you don't like it. Will you make lower price for your room? If you ask any of my traders who are in here, they will tell you that the price is way too cheap. It's way too cheap for what you're getting. complex patterns. Somebody asked, please talk more about wave patterns. We need the complex patterns. You can learn the patterns on trading on elliottwave.com. If you go there, there is the book. You read the book, you'll get to learn the patterns. It's not just learning the patterns. It's not just knowing it. Let me just show you what you will get in TradingView, and you will get a lot of people do this. They will draw something like this, and then they will tell you, look for this and this pattern, and then you're going to get that, and they'll tell you, wonderful. You buy here, and you do this, and you do that. If I give you 1,000 of that, and I ask you afterwards to find it in a chart real time, you can't. Most of you would not be able to identify that pattern as it's happening in a real chart. Now, let me show you my charts, and I'll show you. Let me show you the Aussie chart, for example. Here's my Aussie chart. And I'm going to show you something, and I'm going to show you how easy it is. So you see my chart. It made a sharp move, started to make a correction, made a 1, 2, 3 down, did this, and I made forecasts immediately. I said, guys, this is how this pattern is going to develop, right? I'm showing you this one because you've all seen it. So I'm trying to show you how difficult it will be for you guys. So it looks perfect when I did it, right? Because that's exactly what it did, right? It came there, and now it's coming down. That's perfect setup, right? Let's take everything out from the Aussie chart. Come on. And let's go to 4 hour. And this is what the 4 hour chart looks like. And tell me what you think it's going to do. Or where are the patterns you're looking for? You can't. That's the problem. Is that if you ask me now what Aussie is going to do, I think Aussie could still come back here, making a 1, 2, 3 wave structure and then go down. See? So why are we in the sell? Well, it's a whole different complex structure you're looking at. That's what I'm saying. When you look at the 1 hour, we're thinking, well, maybe this could go down. This should come down at least more to the low here. And if it starts to do that, it may end up doing this. So how do you identify each one of those patterns in different time frame? I can't do that in one webinar. I teach my traders for 6 weeks with practical sessions. And then we still spend the next couple of months trying to figure out the correct direction. They learn to get the correct direction. So it's not that easy in one webinar. And by simply showing you a drawing, if you want a drawing, go Google it. Google patterns and you will get all those drawings. I will not post those drawings on TradingView. They're wasting your time. Unless, of course, if I want to get some, you know, if I go to TradingView and I post them only if I want you to give me some likes, which I really don't need. Traders still don't get it. I really don't. I'm not posting in TradingView for the likes. The only reason I want you to like the chart is that other traders could see the charts when they're posted. Because if the system on TradingView is such that if the chart doesn't get a lot of likes, it's not on top. You don't see it. It's at the bottom. Right? That's the only reason why likes on the chart is good, so that other traders could see. Basically, if they remove all these 165,000 likes, I wouldn't be worried about it. It's not about the like, it's the quality of the charts you're posting. Right? People, nobody likes your chart because they like you. They like the chart because of the quality you're posting. Like one troll was coming in to say, oh, well, you're liking other people's charts. So if I like your chart, doesn't that say something about the quality of your chart as well? I mean, so what if I give you a few likes just to make you, you know, to boast? There are traders who are just learning, starting, they need encouragement. I mean, the likes, I think the system of liking is not the best way for trading. It has nothing to do with trading as well. So they should change it to a different system. I don't know what system. I could tell you what system I would suggest to them. You want to follow somebody, pay and let that money go to TradingView. That will be my suggestion to TradingView. Anybody who wants to follow somebody, let them pay $5 a month. And TradingView take that money to make better charts for us. No troll is going to pay $5 a month to troll you. See? But then that is going to be a $5 cost in you guys. That's the only problem. So, okay, guys, trade with care. Watch the charts. See all of you tomorrow. I'll post this on YouTube in the next couple hours. Thank you very much. He's an amazing kid. Growing up pretty fast, already 10 months. Take care, everybody. See you. Bye-bye.